Mark had always trusted Sarah. They were college sweethearts, the couple everyone admired. Their life was a picture of suburban bliss, complete with a golden retriever and a white picket fence. Mark worked as an architect, his days filled with blueprints and deadlines, while Sarah had recently climbed the corporate ladder, becoming a senior marketing manager at a prestigious firm. Their love felt solid, like the foundations of the buildings he designed. But foundations can develop cracks, and sometimes you don't see them until the whole structure starts to shake. It began subtly. The late nights at the office became more frequent. "Just closing a huge deal, honey," she'd text, her messages punctuated with heart emojis that used to make him smile, but now felt a little hollow. He'd wait up, the dinner he cooked growing cold on the stove. When she finally came home, smelling of expensive perfume and exhaustion, she'd give him a quick peck on the cheek and collapse into bed, murmuring about spreadsheets and demanding clients. Mark tried to be the supportive husband. He knew her job was demanding. He'd leave a glass of water on her nightstand and quietly slip out of the room to let her sleep. But a seed of doubt had been planted. It started with small things. A name he'd never heard her mention before. Alex popped up in her stories about work. Alex had the most brilliant idea for the campaign. Or, Alex and I had to pull an all-nighter to get the presentation ready. He'd ask, "Who's this Alex again?" And she'd wave a dismissive hand. "Oh, just a new guy on the team. Super talented, but a bit of a workaholic." The explanation was plausible, yet it didn't sit right. He felt a cold knot tighten in his stomach whenever he heard the name. He told himself he was being paranoid, that his own long hours were making him insecure. He loved Sarah, and trust was the bedrock of their marriage. He had to trust her. One Friday evening, Sarah called. "Babe, I'm so sorry. This project is a monster. I'm going to be super late. Don't wait up." Mark's heart sank. They had planned a date night, a rare occasion to reconnect. He had reservations at their favorite Italian restaurant, the one where he had proposed. "Oh," he said, trying to keep the disappointment from his voice. "Okay. Well, try not to work too hard." "I'll make it up to you, I promise," she said, her voice sounding distant and hurried. After he hung up, Mark stared at the 2 wine glasses he'd set out on the counter. The silence of the house was deafening. He canceled the reservation, his appetite gone. That night, as he lay in bed alone, the seed of doubt began to sprout. He scrolled through her social media looking for clues, for anything that might ease his mind. He found a recent group photo from a company event. There was Sarah smiling brightly, and next to her, with his arm casually draped around the back of her chair, was a handsome, sharp-dressed man. Mark zoomed in. The man's name tag was just visible. It read, Alex. The following week was torture. Every late-night text felt like a jab. Every mention of Alex was like salt in a wound he wasn't even sure he had. Mark felt himself becoming someone he didn't recognize. Suspicious, anxious, checking her phone when she was in the shower, feeling guilty and ashamed every time. He found nothing. No incriminating texts, no hidden call logs. It made him feel even crazier. Was he imagining all of this? Was his love for her turning into a possessive paranoia? The breaking point came on a Thursday. Sarah had told him she had another unavoidable late-night strategy session. "We're catering dinner at the office," she explained. "It's going to be a long one." As Mark listened, a cold resolve washed over him. He couldn't live like this anymore, suspended in a fog of uncertainty. He had to know the truth, no matter how much it might hurt. He waited until an hour after she was supposed to be at the office. His hands trembled as he grabbed his car keys. He felt like a character in a cheap spy movie, his heart pounding against his ribs. He drove towards her office building downtown, a gleaming tower of glass and steel. He parked across the street, his view of the main entrance partially obscured by a tree. He watched as people trickled out, their workdays over. But he didn't see Sarah. He waited. An hour passed, then another. The sky turned from dusky purple to inky black. A sick feeling churned in his gut. Was she really in there, hunched over a boardroom table? Or was he completely wrong, a fool sitting in his car while his wife worked herself to the bone? Just as he was about to give up and go home, he saw her. Sarah walked out of the building, but she wasn't alone. She was with Alex. They weren't in work attire. She had changed into a stunning black dress, and he was in a stylish blazer. They were laughing, their heads close together. They weren't heading for the parking garage. Instead, they hailed a cab. Mark's blood ran cold. This wasn't a work meeting. On autopilot, he started his car and followed the taxi, keeping a safe distance. His mind was a blank slate of shock. The cab didn't go to a restaurant or a bar. It pulled up in front of a chic, modern apartment building in a trendy part of town he'd never been to with Sarah. He watched, frozen, as Alex paid the driver. He then opened the door for Sarah, placed a hand on the small of her back, and guided her inside. They disappeared into the lobby together. Mark sat in his car, the engine humming softly, the sound a stark contrast to the roaring silence in his head. Every detail, every laugh, every late-night excuse clicked into place, forming a picture of betrayal so clear it stole his breath. He had thought their love was a fortress. He was wrong. It was a house of cards, and it had just been blown away by a single devastating gust of wind. He didn't know how long he sat there, staring at the building that had swallowed his wife and his happiness whole. An hour? 2? Time had lost all meaning. Finally, a single hot tear traced a path down his cheek. He wasn't paranoid. He wasn't crazy. He was a man whose world had just been irrevocably shattered. He turned the key. The engine coughed to a stop, and he was plunged into a profound, suffocating darkness, both inside his car and within his heart. The drive home was a blur. He didn't know what he would say, what he would do. He only knew that the life he shared with Sarah, the life he had cherished and trusted, was over. The picture of their perfect life was now just a frame holding a gaping, empty space where a future used to be. The next morning, Mark woke up on the couch. He hadn't been able to face their bed. When Sarah came downstairs dressed for work as if nothing had happened, she smiled brightly. "Morning, sleepyhead. Sorry I was so late. The meeting was brutal." The casual lie was like a physical blow. Mark just looked at her, his eyes hollow. He didn't rage, he didn't yell. He simply said, "We need to talk. I know about you and Alex." The color drained from her face, and in that moment of shattered silence, Mark knew there was no going back. The truth was out, and with it, the painful, necessary process of rebuilding his life, brick by single brick, had to begin. Thank you so much for watching. Facing betrayal is incredibly difficult, and it's a journey that no one should have to walk alone. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the complexities of human relationships. Your support means the world to us. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.